Oh my gosh, guys, I can't believe it. Thank you so much for everybody listening to Ariel's Entertainment Podcast. I am so grateful. You guys are so amazing. Thank you for joining us for another exciting episode. We got Nate, we got NH, Spilde in the house. Straight up. Thank you guys. Here we go. Tell all your friends and family. Woo! Welcome to another Ariel's Entertainment Podcast. I am your host, Ariel. Thank you so much for joining us. Today is September 28th. Guys, let's give a round of applause to my boy, NH Spilde in the house.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah. He goes by Nate in the Matrix world, guys. In the Matrix, when he's not unplugged, he goes by Nate, baby. But you know, everywhere around else around the world, he goes by NH Spilde. He's an artist. He has dope art, and I think he's gonna send a couple pictures to me, or he's gonna show us here on the screen. I'll put it here, and he'll let us know his links, so we can follow him. He'll let us know if he has any websites, anything like that. Before we get into the homeboy, I want to let you guys know too. If you guys like this, follow, like, and subscribe, and tell all your friends and family. I got 47 episodes out right now. So if you pick one and send it to one of your friends, it means the whole world to me. That's a great way to support me. Another way to support me is by going to my website, which is arielent.com. Go to the shop right here. And then there's my red tee, my white tee, my stickers, pens, and shirts. Guys, thank you so much for all the support. We're about selling out on the white tees, to be honest, guys. So cop one right now. My plugs, arielent.com. That's for my podcast, music, and photography. I do all three. Shoot me a DM. I can do the homie hookup as well. Check out my Instagram, which is arielentpod. arielentpod. A follow means the world to me. A like means a lot to me too, guys. So thank you so much. And this is your favorite part of your guys' whole time of this podcast. This is the prayer. So we'll get straight to it so we can get straight into my boy. I'm so excited that he came on the show. I was like, yo, dude, I've been planning this out for a year. I was like, yo, man, you got to come to the show. I know you're a busy guy. He's like, all right, I'm coming. So here we are today, baby. I can't wait. I want to say thank you, God, for us coming here today and joining this podcast. NH Spilde, my boy Nate in the house. Thank you, God, for him coming on the podcast, spilling his wisdom. Thank you, God, for the amazing food we're able to eat, restocking the shelves and our jobs. Thank you for our cars to get us point A to point B. And when we're traveling, you're keeping us safe and sound and watching over us. Thank you for the money we get in our lives, God. And thank you for our dreams and passions come to a reality and that we want to do for the rest of our lives. And thank you for our families and our perfect health. Amen. Yeah, that's what I do. We are on the same frequency right now. Guys, let's give a shout out to Nate. Nate, give us a social media where we can follow you and who you are. Woo!
All right. So, So I'm Nate, but everywhere online I am NH Spilde, Spilde. That's Instagram. I'm on Twitch a couple times a week.
Oh, snap.
That's basically that's the most in terms of where you can find me. I'm on Twitter under the same thing, but like Instagram and Twitch is the best way to find me.
Perfect, bro. Tell us what you do, man.
So I make cartoons, like for lack of a better word, but like the best way to describe it is I make cartoons. I draw them, I animate them. Every now and then I voice them, but it's just all about making cartoons and making people either laugh or just like entertaining them in some way. It's usually I do it for the smiles more than anything.
Yeah, straight up. I saw that's how I started following you. I was like, I saw that on the main page, on the Explore page of Denver, dude. And I was like, whoa. I saw the hamburger and the soda. I swear I've seen, I don't know where I've seen those before. I could have seen those, but I don't know. And I thought that was sick. So I was like, this is my boy right here.
So those are the guys from Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah.
The show back on Adult Swim.
Yeah.
And that just like block was such an inspiration growing up, where it was just like, oh, you can make cartoons say whatever the hell you want, and just you can do whatever you want with animation. And it just kind of opened up my mind from there. And then like in between shows, they'd be playing like Jay Dilla beats and Flying Lotus beats, and then having like MF Doom. Like they had an MF Doom album, and it was just the most inspirational shit. Where it's like, this is where I want to be in some way.
Yeah,
And then from there, it all just kind of spiraled. Where it's like, there's a million. I don't know if I can swear on here. There's a million things you can do with art that like it isn't just like a gallery, and it's not just like Saturday morning cartoons. There's cartoons that are happening at 3 a.m, and they're the most wild thing you've ever seen.
for sure, dude. You said you Adult Swim, is that on Cartoon Network still?
Yeah, that's still on cartoon. They keep pushing it back. I remember being a kid, and it was like
Yeah.
as soon as 10 o'clock, you'd hear a voice go like, "Oh, kids out of the pool," and then they would start playing. I can't remember the name of the song, but it had this like Tito Puente sample,
Okay.
and it just like, and as soon as you heard those horns come in, like you knew to turn the volume down because like your mom's gonna hear. Like if your mom knows you're up that late, she's gonna like yell at you. But then she comes up to yell at you for being late, and then she hears cartoon characters swearing, and then just like,
There, yeah. Turn that off
yeah,
right now.
it's a school night, and did they just say ass? Like you're like, no, you're like, like you turn it off, and then you like sneak back out, you close the door and turn it down, you put the captions on, like.
But mom, come on. Dude, serious. My mom would not let me watch South Park. My mom would not let me watch The Simpsons.
Oh yeah.
She did not like Roseanne. She doesn't like that type of like humor stuff, dude. My mom was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I could not watch that growing up.
Oh yeah. There was a lot of just like either it was mostly like sneaking out and then like somehow figuring out a way of not creating too much light so you could just like keep watching those just like, for lack of a better word, raunchy cartoons.
Oh,
Like,
for sure. Yeah, straight up, dude. And some crazy commercials too. They would have.
oh yeah.
Yeah, dude. Would have some weird commercials. Hey, man. So, how long have you been doing anime? Because I got you here as animator, illustrator, editor, all the above, dude. It was like, what made you do all this?
So I mean, like I've been drawing since I could hold a pencil type of thing where I
Yeah.
would get in trouble at school because I would turn in homework and then it would be like the homework would be done, but then I'd have drawings on the side because I would just get stupid bored during school. Like, so it'd be like I would just be drawing on all these papers and I was like still able to follow along, but it was just
Yeah.
like I'd have to draw the whole time. So that was always an aspect of it. And then like that turned into like animation. So you'd like just learn how to make little quick flip books, and then like growing up, I'd also get into skateboarding, and I
Right.
was friends. I was friends with a kid who he had like all the camera equipment you could ever want, and like all the editing equipment, but he just didn't want to like do the work. Like great guy. But he was just like, he's like, oh, you like, if you want to film me and if you want to edit videos, I'm like, cool. Like, I'll do all the filming. I'll do all the editing. I'll like put down the camera and like put it on a tripod to film myself. But like, I was the team filmer. I was the team editor. And that's how you learn like those little aspects of it. And it was just like, it all kind of started to click when I would take just random like animation courses. Like, my mom was the type of mom where it was like, if you had too much free time on your hands, you were getting into trouble, which she was like kind of right. Cause I'd be off like, like breaking into the empty pool and skating there. But there'd be other times where she's like, I'm putting you in an art class. I'm putting you into an animation class. And it was the double side of that where it's like, I'm learning to do cool stuff so I can make the other cool stuff I'm doing outside of it and
Yeah.
merge them together.
Yeah, man. Sounds like your mom was looking out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got it. Like, that's the thing is, I grew up in Milwaukee, so it was like there are aspects of that, like of Milwaukee that are just like they're Milwaukee. So it's just like you gotta stay safe.
Straight up. Do you still have family out in Milwaukee? Is your mom out there?
Yeah. So all of my family is still out there. I'm like the. It feels like I'm the one relative who got out.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just like still like I'm like me and my girlfriend are planning on like continue like we're gonna go out to Seattle like next
Whoa.
year.
Whoa,
So
cool.
it's like, so we're gonna keep making jumps because it's just like as soon as we made that first jump, everything else seems so much more reasonable and manageable.
Yeah. So when you're talking about jump, that means you're gonna move from Denver to like something to somewhere else, or are you just gonna travel?
Yeah, it's gonna be definitely the move from Denver to Seattle. We went out there like right as COVID was happening, and it was still like most like everyone was still like pretty chill, and kind of everyone was going with like, all right, we got to do what we got to do to get through this, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh man, this like seems like a cool community as well, and like there's a difference between like Milwaukee and Denver that I never realized until we went to Seattle, where it was like, oh my god, I miss like a great body of water. Like I lived as an adult like 3 blocks away from Lake Michigan in Milwaukee, and then going to Seattle, it was like boom, here's another huge body of water, and it was like this like there's something about water in the air that is just like you can feel it like,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
feels it's calming.
Okay. Cool, man. Yeah, when I go to Illinois, we stop at like Chicago, we stop at Plano, and you can feel the
Yeah.
bodies of water from there, dude.
Oh yeah. There's a reason why like we've all like as a human species we always go to those bodies of water, and like it's beyond just like moving and like shipping things. So there's something calming about having a body of water near you.
Yeah, I also heard that when you go see like this is just what I heard. I heard that I heard if you go to see like you travel like people are like the ocean draws people to it, right? So I
Oh
hear
yeah.
so I hear that they say that when
I
people
mean,
do that it resets your aurora. So that's what I've
oh
heard.
yeah. I've heard that too. I've like it's the same like I've heard that like you can throw like it's gonna sound kind of morbid, but you can throw like newborn babies into water and they know exactly what to do. It's like there's something about like us as a species that's like you need water just
Yeah.
beyond just drinking it. Like
Yeah,
so
no.
that
Yeah, and our bodies are just like mostly water too.
yeah. So there's like that like kind of a very water magnet that brings you to it. And they're like, as soon as we got off, it was like as soon as we got off the plane from Denver to Seattle, it was like, oh man, like there was a feeling in the air. I've got friends out there, and then just like the vibe. And it was like by the end of the week we were there, it was like we have to move here. Like there's
Really cool.
and like we moved to Denver blind, but like I was retelling it to friends here, and they're like, yeah, I went to Denver once, and we moved out here, and it's like, oh, maybe that's what we should like. I love Denver, but it
Yeah.
was like we moved here blind, so it was like, oh, like this is how you actually plan to move somewhere.
Nice,
Is you
dude.
go visit it first, and then you decide you like it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. You realize that when you did the Seattle trip and you're like, "Oh man, this is more legit. We got to come over here."
Yeah, I mean, like, I've always been like of the mindset like of if you can travel, because like not everyone can travel, but like if you can travel, that is the best way to expand your mind.
Oh, big time. I
Like,
say that. I say the same thing.
and it immediately rips you out of your comfort zone. Like
Yep.
it's amazing stuff.
Yeah, if you travel, this is how a better way I can explain it. When you okay, your brain is where it's at right now, right? Let's say you're gonna go travel somewhere new. So for me, like Seattle, I've never been there. So my part of my brain has never experienced Seattle. So when I travel to Seattle, you're getting all that new stuff put in your brain, all the
Yeah.
culture. And what I like to do, I like to road trip because I feel road trip, you learn more, you
Mm-hmm.
understand more rather than taking the plane, which is cool. But I like road tripping, dude, and I feel
Oh
like
yeah.
yeah, you see more things, you see what towns are like, you see what people are like, and yeah, I feel the same way, dude. 100% with the travel.
Oh yeah, no, I like I think that's like the like one of like the blessings I have with my girlfriend is like we figured out ways of like making traveling work for us, and that I mean like we bust our ass to save, but
Yep.
like that is like you get out there, you're able to just take it all in, and then it, there was something this Washington trip, there was something that like clicked in us where like we have like this was like there was something different about like going to Costa Rica. Like Costa Rica, like you're in the jungle, it's great. But like there was something about Seattle that was like, you gotta live here. It's like,
Dude, don't tell me you've been to Costa Rica.
oh yeah. We lucked out. Um it was like 3 years ago. It was right as like all these airlines kept getting in trouble for stupid things where it's like, oh, United is pulling guys off their planes, and then like this other airline keeps accidentally killing people's dogs. So there was like a summer like no one wanted to fly.
Samsung phones going off.
Yeah, it's like people's vapes are exploding, their
Yeah,
phones are
phones are
exploding. So
exploding.
everyone's like, they're like, I don't want to fly at all.
People's hoverboards are exploding.
And it's so my girlfriend was like, oh, we found like we can go to Costa Rica, spend a couple hours and like like just enough of a layover in Panama, but like you can go there for like it was like $100 a person.
Yeah.
It was just like it was like all the cards lined up, and it was like, all right, we're gonna go to Costa Rica.
Yeah.
And we found an Airbnb in Atenas.
Yep.
So we were just like right in the jungle. It was great. I like
Yeah.
I like do whatever you can, like like as a quick message to like do whatever you can like in any way to figure out how to travel, because that is the best way to open your mind. Like I'm big on like traveling and like education as a whole, but like traveling is like some of the best education you can get, because you're gonna get thrown into just where you are.
Oh yeah. Dude, and you know what? I don't think for me, when I travel to new places, it's a little intimidating, dude.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't show it and I don't say anything. I keep it to myself.
Oh
But
yeah.
for real, dude, it's intimidating a little bit
Yeah.
because you're like, dude, I don't know what to expect on this road trip, but just to go. And sometimes you run into things, dude. You never like from previous trips. There's sometimes where previous trips where we just go and then I'm like on the edge of the cliff driving, dude. I'm like, I did not expect this.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I agree, dude. Travel opens up the mind and you learn so much. And yeah, how many times you been to Costa Rica?
Unfortunately, only that once. That was like a good like week there. So I mean, that is like the next like we got a like there's always like the next place you want to go.
Yeah.
That's always like a place that we want to come back to. Like
Yep.
there's people who are like, oh, we go up to Montana to the Montana to state whatever every year, and it's like
Yeah.
we want to go to like we got to figure out a way to go to Costa Rica every year, because
Yeah.
there's just like there's so many cool things to do there that like at the time even we couldn't take advantage of, where it's like, oh, you can go on like little coffee tours and see like how your coffee is made, or here's this big dog reservoir where you can just like walk up the hill with dogs and spend the like there's nowhere like that here where it's like, oh, you can really just like be one with.
Oh yeah.
And I'm more of a city guy. Like I've always lived in cities, but like there's definitely something like grounding about just like, especially Costa Rica. But like because I've been like I've been you go to those like environments and you're like, oh, this is one with Earth. But there was something about Costa Rica that was like people are one with like Earth in like right there. Like they're in the jungle, they're living off cliff sides.
Yep. Yeah. Dude, their motto is Puro Vida. That's their motto.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense because like they're, man, that all right, Atenas, just like the way it's set up, like you have to wrap through like you have to wrap through like the jungle for lack of like that's the best way to describe it because it is just like there's stuff coming out. There's going to be snakes here. Like the guy who ran our Airbnb is like, oh, like I'll show you some stuff, but you got to be careful for like snakes. Like those are things you don't worry about, like just walking down the streets of
Yeah.
Denver.
Yeah. Dude, the Airbnb guy showed you some crazy stuff, huh? Like some animals or what?
He more so told us about because he was just like like I live on this land and I rent out this like
Yeah.
I it looks kind of from the outside of like a shack, but that was like a multi-level like here's a living room, kitchen, and like this cool little rock feature in the bathroom, and like but like he's like all right like like you go that way there's waterfalls, you go that way there's the little like downtown of the village, but then
Yeah.
like if you're gonna go around this land, don't work like you gotta be careful because like there's gonna be like snakes and like it
Yeah.
was like I don't know. It was something that took me out of my element living in cities my whole life.
Straight up. Oh yeah. Way out of your element, dude. Yo, so get this. I'll explain you a way out of element. What the place where you went to Costa Rica, was it north, south, east, or west of the country?
I believe it was like I'm trying to hold on. All right, so I'm like drawing it out a little
Yeah.
bit like Central America in my head. It's like I'm gonna totally get this wrong. I gotta look it up.
Yeah, do
Real
it. We
quick.
do it live. We do it live. No big
Yeah,
deal.
yeah, yeah. Let me look it up because I'm
Yeah,
gonna
look
be
it
like,
up.
oh, it's the South Side.
Okay, while you do,
My
yeah,
bad.
you let me know, and I'll let you know my story. So I've been to Costa Rica 3 times. What's up? You got it?
Yeah, I got it right. All right, so it's like central, and you know how like Costa Rica kind of has that like hook.
Yeah.
So like where the hook is of that bay, it's like a little bit east of that. So we were like an hour west of San Jose.
That explains
So
it.
like we flew into San Jose. We
Yep.
had like the Airbnb guy picked us up and then like put us into Atenas, and it was just like here you go, like here it is, Atenas, and then we like spent a couple days in San Jose, but we had to
Yep.
like like we had to go to the grocery store and use their Wi-Fi to call a Lyft. So like that's kind of like the whole part of it. Like it
Yeah.
was
Yeah, dude. I know exactly what you're talking about. We stayed in Playa Hermosa, and then
yeah.
we stayed in Jaco. Did you ever make it to Jaco?
No, I've got a map right here though, just so I could look up where Atenas was.
Yeah, that's what's up. So where we stayed was this is running out of time. We removed the 40-minute time limit on your group meeting. Cool. Love it. A weird message. I've never gotten that before. Dude, we've been talking for 40 minutes and we didn't even
Hell yeah,
that's crazy.
that's flew by.
Dude, but yeah, so San Jose, and then they drive us like an hour and a half west, like
Yeah,
southwest, and that's where Jaco is in Playa
yeah, sure.
Hermosa. Yeah, so get this, man. The last time we went, we went to Jaco, bro. We were staying in Jaco, but we drove to San Jose to go check out like all the sites, all the sightseeing in San Jose.
Yeah.
And then we came back to Jaco because it's only an hour and a half drive, dude. And we had a rental, and our Airbnb was right there by the beach, dude. Literally, probably less than 40 yards from the beach. It was crazy, dude. And
Oh
it
yeah,
was a cabana. We stayed at a cabana, bro. But
nice.
we're going. It was about 7:30, and my girlfriend and I, we are coming. We're just going to this restaurant in Jaco, dude. 6.8 earthquake goes down, bro. I've never been so scared in my life, dude. I saw the ground move, dude, and it was the most.
Yeah, that's wild.
It was the most like I when I talk about it, I get like shiver. I get cold, and
Yeah, I've personally never experienced an earthquake, but like I know just like that scale is ridiculous.
yeah. So, dude, we like I said, we were that close to the ocean. So I told him, like, literally when it stopped, I always in my head was like, dude, there's always tsunamis after earthquakes. So I told my girl, I was like, let's get in the rental and we're gonna go park at this hill that just goes completely up because dude, I was so paranoid. I wasn't gonna go back to the cabana, bro.
No, no.
Yeah. No, so we stayed the night in the car, dude. It happened like at 7:30 at night, and we stayed in the car until the next following morning when sun came up. Dude,
Yeah.
we went back to the cabana. No, no, thank goodness no tsunami came through. We went back to the cabana the next morning. We stayed the whole night in the car. We drove back to the cabana like at 6:30 in the morning when the sun was coming up. Dude, there was probably about 50 people surfing. The the waves were big. The
Oh
water
yeah.
the water moved up closer to our
Yeah.
cabana. Dude, I told my girlfriend, I was like, let's get our stuff and we're leaving. We cut our vacation short. We got in the rental. We drove back to San Jose, dude. We canceled our stuff and like we canceled our cabana. We just wanted to get home, dude. We were scarred, dude. We haven't like it's that bad, dude. It
Oh
was
yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I'd be shaking up too, and I was like, oh, shaking, yeah, earthquake. But like, no, you're like,
yeah. So we just drove back to San Jose, stayed 2 more nights there, and then we came home, dude. We're we haven't been back since, dude. And that was our favorite place to go.
yeah. No, dude, that's nervy, and I'm glad you're safe, man.
Oh yeah, me too. I was so scared. No lie, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, dude. So, what's your favorite style of art? Because you got many different types of art you do.
My favorite style has to be that the best way of describing it is like lowbrow art, but it's that punk style, that like old school skate style of like eyes like kind of swinging out and tongues dripping out, like you'd see
Yeah,
with old like 60s 50s hot like really underground hot rod stuff where it's like people's faces are melting. Like
melting.
I loved that stuff. And then like growing up, the cartoons I loved like Ren and Stimpy
Yep.
and Ed and Eddie and like Invader Zim, and like I remember like you'd come to school and be like, "Did you see it?" And they're like, kids be like, "No, I don't want, like that looks gross." And I'm like, gross art is like the coolest. And then I went to art school and I'd be like making gross art, and then I was like, but there'd be like the kids who are making like I totally respect like Disney and like all that,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
it felt out of its element, and I loved just kind of like doing what I felt was different. And that's kind of like, but there's some sort of beauty in just like the drippy faces and the eyes kind of swinging out of sockets and tongues hanging out. It felt raw, and it now that like it, I just like doing that type of art.
Yeah, dude. This Ren and Stimpy stuff, dude. That is some funny stuff.
Oh yeah, the like
That is some raunchy cartoon. Came on
the, the
Nickelodeon.
the stuff that like John Kay, the creator, was like, he tried to get away with so much stuff underneath, like still trying to be like a kid's cartoon.
Right?
That constraint, he got away with so much, and then it kind of like it sucks because like as soon as he got like, oh, here's the door to do more adult stuff, and then when he started doing more adult stuff, it was like, oh, we've like you're just making raunchy jokes for the sake. There was something about him trying to make like a kid's cartoon that was like different. Like it was enough of a constraint that it was freeing, and then as soon as he had too much freedom, it was like, all right, man, like you're making too much like poop jokes. Like,
Yeah. No, I remember it would come in. Ren and Stimpy would come on Nickelodeon at night, like right. I don't when I was a kid on Nickelodeon, and Are You Afraid of the Dark would be on too after that, I
oh
think,
yeah,
or before that. Oh my gosh, dude, that was my shit right there.
hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. So, what have you learned so far by doing this? How long have you how long have you been like really focused, committed to this? Like 5 years?
Oh man, I so like I was like a sophomore in high school when I realized you can make, like that was when you're coming to terms with like you can do this as a lifestyle, as a
Wow,
career.
good for you.
So that would be like 11 years ago that I started to like be more committed to it. But I mean, like like I said, as soon as I had like the pen in my hand, like I fill sketchbooks. Like if I'm watching TV, I've got a sketchbook like in my lap. If I'm going anywhere, like the one thing that I bring everywhere is a sketchbook. So it's like the thing I've always learned is always have always have a pencil or a pen and paper on you.
Yeah.
And that goes beyond art, because it's just like you never know when that inspiration will hit you. There, see, you got it right there. You always have some way of like documenting too. Like as soon as you make something, like take a photo of it, like make sure that thing is permanent, because you can lose sketchbooks, but there's something about like having it online. And like people, we can talk about like how bad social media is, but there's also like that element, if you're a creative person, like there's something important about having like that social element. Like document everything, always just create. That's the number one thing. The amount of times people are like, oh man, like I wish I could do this. Like just do it. Like
now's the time to just do it.
Yeah, there's nothing stopping you from like pursuing like even the most smallest form of like creative tasks. Like you've got 5 minutes, just write, just draw, sing a song to yourself. Like you got 5 minutes, you can do whatever. And then like don't be afraid of just like showing people, because that is the number one hump. But that's going to be like the biggest hump to get over, is just being like just showing people. Because then from there, you're either going to get that reaction you want or the reaction you don't want. And if you get that reaction you don't want, you can either say, screw you, I'm going to keep doing it, or you can change the way to impress that person if that's your end goal. But no matter what, like you can only build off yourself if you're also showing people. And it's just, that is like, yeah, I mean, like no matter, there's a lot of like, oh man, I wish I could do this. Like just do it. Like you've got with COVID, you've got all the time in the world. With the way the internet works, if you want to learn something, you can learn it. Like you can go to YouTube and get a thing for free. You can go to Skillshare and pay a little bit a month to learn something. Like there are many ways to learn something, and if you want to learn it, like do it.
Yep. Yeah, no, I 100% agree, man. Now's the time to do it. We can YouTube. There's so many things there. That's where I go. How do I check air on a tire or something like? Dude, it'll be there.
It's there. It's there.
Even for the model of the car. So if I put in 2004 Mazda, boom, it will come up.
Yeah.
Somebody already did it. It's so legit.
Yeah, someone's already gone through all the headache that you don't need to go through, because someone already did it and they filmed it.
Yeah, dude, straight up. And like you said, pen and paper, that helps me out all day. All day I have it. Yeah. That probably with, not during when I sleep, I don't have it. But when I'm awake, Monday through Friday, I have it probably 90% of the time. Because on the weekend, I'm usually traveling.
But I mean, like even there's so many people who've been like, oh, like if you have a pen and paper by your bed, like as soon as you wake up, like have pen and paper by your bed. Have like, the amount of times where I'm in the shower and I'm just like, oh man, that's amazing. Like make sure you have something by the shower, like whether it's your phone or not. Like those ideas are still valid ideas. They're not dumb ideas until you've done them and you failed, and then you go, wow, that was a dumb idea, but I'm gonna figure out a different way of doing it. Like, and then like even on that way, like also don't be afraid of like people not liking things too, because the amount of like the style of art that I like, I know is a little more niche in terms of like the amount of people who are like willing to like look, like it's dripping faces, eyes coming, like it's, like that's my favorite. But like there are amount of times people are like, oh man, that's gross, and you can write off any type of criticism, and like sometimes it's important to do that. Like everyone's a critic doesn't mean everyone's right.
Dude, I couldn't agree more, man. I drop posts and sometimes it hits and sometimes it's just like 56 views, and it's like, oh, it is what it is. And the next day it's crazy. I'll get over 1,000 hits. It's just nuts, man. It's
no, I that's the fun game of social media. I look at that like a game.
Oh
Like I'll
yeah,
post something and then I'll look at the insights where it's like, here's how many people looked at it based on a hashtag, and you're like, cool, that worked. Next time I'm gonna try this, and then it's like, oh, people don't like to look at your art at 2 p.m. You're like,
yep,
cool, then I'll never
yep.
post again. Like it's a game. It's fun.
Oh, dude, I know, man. I kind of, yeah, yep. You said it, dude. What about how long have you been skateboarding?
Oh man, I've been skateboarding since like fourth or fifth grade.
Okay,
Like, it's that classic, like you play enough Tony Hawks, you go to the store and you get a skateboard.
that's what I'm talking about.
And
That
yeah,
that's
and
all I did as a kid. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, dude.
and
Uh,
then you just like you're like, I want to be like that. And I I've I've spent so much time on the skateboard that it's, I mean, like there are times where you look and you're like, oh man, like there's so many kids who are like so much younger, ripping and like doing stuff, but like at the same time, like I broke my wrist like pretty severely in like middle school, and I remember just being like, all right, I'm not gonna go that hard ever again. Like this is gonna be fun. I'm like, I know I'm not gonna be the next
yeah,
Nigel Houston or
yeah,
Ryan Sheckler. Like this is fun, and like as soon as you keep it, like you've got to like, that's another important thing. Like another message to people, like you gotta like separate what things make you happy, and don't even worry about monetizing that. Don't worry, like if you've got a hobby and you love it, keep it as a hobby. Skateboarding is that for me, where it's like me and another guy will go skate and we'll film it, but we'll like laugh the whole time. Like as soon as it's like, oh man, we gotta make a part and put it online because everyone wants to sponsor people in their late 20s.
yeah. That's when it fucking gets all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, I don't like. Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't like to get in that mindset.
But that's an important, like that's a huge thing to like think about, because like there, now that we're able to like film everything and like put everything online, it's so hard to find that line of like, what is something that you want to like just keep secret for yourself. And like that's what I have in skateboarding, where it's like I'll just like do this and I'll do goofy little tricks where it's like, and it doesn't matter if I land it because I'm not doing it for anyone else but just to like release some energy.
Word. Yeah, dude. I think skateboarding is so dope. Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Did you know it came out right now on the PS4?
Oh yeah, I picked that up as soon as it came out.
Oh,
That was
dude, I was one of them. I'm this close getting it. I'm this close.
oh,
Getting it. I'm getting it. I just haven't got it yet.
you've I picked it up and I ripped through it in the like first weekend. Like it all came back. It was
Yeah.
like muscle memory, just like boop, 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 boop.
All the grind. Dude,
Yeah,
my favorite was the land tricks, like doing land tricks.
Flatland. Yeah,
Yeah.
those
Yep.
they put those in there. Like they're like, well, we're gonna make those first two games, but we know what everyone wants. So they put some of those older tricks from like the later games in there just
They
so it
should.
feels as you
I don't know
remember.
why they would get rid of it.
You know, the purists were like, that wasn't on the original. Oh. But like they know how to hit their base, dude. Like I highly recommend it. I beat it that first weekend, but it's still like a game you can like pick up and play. They put
Dude,
online stuff on there,
yeah,
so you
I
can like
remember the story modes. I remember the story modes. They were sick.
I I like tomorrow go get it. I'm
All right. I will let you know when I grab it, dude. I'll let you know
for
when I
sure.
grab that. Dude, okay. We've already been in this about almost an hour deep. Like I know, it's crazy. I only planned for 20 minutes and this is what happens. Dude,
I mean,
last,
this is a good conversation, man.
oh yeah, man. It's meant to be because you know why? Because we like the we are not only sharing ideas and networking, but we are what's it called? We are have things in common. So many
Yeah.
things. Costa Rica. We both have girlfriends. We enjoy doing creativity. We both like just all this shit, man. So I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
props to
Yeah.
you. Proud of you. I got one more question, man, and then we'll have to catch back up like in a couple months.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down. This was a fun conversation.
Dope, 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 dude. What advice do you have for upcoming artists that want to, pick up and move? I know how you said you just picked up and move. What advice do you have for people like that?
Oh man, like the worst person for advice because I'm so good at giving advice. I'm the worst about following my own advice. Um, so if you were planning on doing a big move, try and plan that because that I mean like we like I mean we moved out here and we did it blind. Like the place we originally found was on Craigslist, and we could have easily been like scammed. We lucked out on that. Like I
Wow.
know where you're going because we lucked out with that. But like we're with our move to Seattle, we've got everything planned. Like we know how we're gonna rent a car, where we're gonna stay right in between, and that's gonna ease any anxiety you have with moving. If it comes down to being an artist, like I said before, just create, show people because you can build off that, but also don't be afraid to, give them the middle finger if you don't like their advice at the same time because like I said earlier, everyone's a critic. Does not necessarily mean they're right, and like yeah, you don't. I mean like maybe like other advice if you're planning on going to school, maybe it's for art. It's all that the best part of the school is probably that structure, but nowadays a lot of the stuff I've learned most not in school. Like it was a good place to go and create every day for 4 years, but I've learned the most outside of that. I mean, like I'd go back. I would if I were to go back to school. I think I'd go back to something different. But like if it comes to art, maybe you just need to like also like set those parameters for yourself. I think that was the best part. If you're thinking of going to school for something, like those parameters they set up best for you.
Nice, dude.
No matter what, just create, post it. This day and age of everything being online, use that to your advantage. Like
Yeah.
social media is only as scary as you make it. So if you want to be creative, use your Instagram as a creative outlet and keep it there. If you want to use Twitter to post memes, keep it there, but don't let that shit affect you.
Nice, dude. Well said. I was like, oh man, keep it coming. But that's,
I mean, I could go.
I know you
I've
can.
learned. I am almost 28, and I've learned a lot.
Nice.
Like
No, for sure. And you know what's cool? Everybody that's listening, if you have any questions for my boy here, NH Spilde, aka Nate, shoot him a message on his DM. Follow him on Twitch, follow him on the Instagram. Dude, he's the dopest artist, animator, illustrator, editor of all time, baby. Shout out
I
to my boy.
appreciate that.
Yeah, dude. So thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you
Thanks
for
for having me, man.
Yeah, thank you for your knowledge and your wisdom and your patience and your happiness and your excitement. Dude, can you tell us where we can follow you?
So yeah, like I said, if you go to Instagram, N as in um, Nina, H as in hotel, Spilde, Spilde on Instagram. More than anything, that's going to be the best way to see my art. In fact, I've got a new drawing that I'll post tomorrow, and
And
then I'm on Twitch twice a week under the same name, and those are the best places to find me.
sweet. Dude, on Twitch, do you do video games or you do your art?
I do both. The
Wow.
majority of the time, I do my art. So if you want to see how the sausage is made, that's going to be on Twitter or not Twitter, Twitch. But I collect video games, so like at any time I'll hook one of those up and I'll stream that.
Don't dude. What kind of like video games? What do you mean for what consoles? All the consoles?
All the consoles, man.
Oh my goodness, dude. That's gonna be our next podcast.
Yeah. We'll the next podcast will just be a video game
Yeah,
podcast.
oh yeah, dude. I'll write down my favorite games and then we'll get the rating what you think or something like that.
Yeah. I'm
Sweet,
for
man.
that.
Awesome. Cool guys. There it is. Follow him on Instagram. NH Spilde, Spilde. His name is Nate. He's on Twitch. He's on Twitter. thank you so much. We're gonna close it with this with our intro song, guys. I hope you guys like it. It reminds me when I was on the tour bus. So thank you so much, guys, for all your support. If you like this, like, subscribe, and follow. Tell all your friends and family. Go to arielent.com. Go to the shop. Get a t-shirt for your girlfriend. Get a t-shirt for your husband. Okay. And then as well, check out my photography and my music at arielent.com. My Instagram, arielentpod. We got the Ray-Bans. We got a gift coming from Ray-Ban here soon, I think. So thank you so much for your support. Love yourself, love each other, and love the animals. Shout out to Nate. Thank you, Nate. All right, guys, that is it. That is the show. Shout out to my boy Nate. He came through, killed it. Go follow him, go support him. Thank you guys for your support. Ariel's Entertainment Podcast. I am on all podcast platforms. It's true, all podcast platforms. Wherever you listen to podcasts, I'm there. Thank you guys. arielent.com. Ariel's Entertainment Podcast. Yeah.